Hold on just a minute. Set down whatever you're holding right now. Let all the noise and hustle of this world hush up around you for a spell, 'cause what I'm fixing to tell you ain't just from any ordinary mind. No, sir, this message came straight from the throne room itself, carried on the wings of the fiercest warrior heaven ever raised, and it's aimed like a fiery arrow right at your heart. The Archangel Michael, the commander of heaven's armies, whose name means who is like God, he stepped out of the ranks of glory, pointed his blazing sword right at this screen, right here, right now, right at you, and with a voice that shakes the very foundations of the unseen world, he says, "Stop your crying over that person, stop it this minute. I know your face is still puffy from last night's tears. I know there's tissues by your bed, dried tears on your pillowcase, and a hurt so deep it's settled into your bones and how you carry yourself. I know you wake up, and for a brief moment, you forget. Then reality hits like a cold splash and you're back at square one, trying to survive that loss all over again. Michael sees all of it. He's watched every second of your pain, and today, right here, he's breaking his silence to tell you something that might either break you or set you free, depending on how open your heart is to hear it. He says, I did it. I'm the one who took that person out of your life. It wasn't bad luck, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't the universe punishing you for something you don't even know about. It was me. He reached into the story of your life and pulled that thread with his own hand, because if they'd stayed one more season, the damage headed your way would have been too much to fix. Let that truth settle in. Don't brush it off or rush past it. Sit with those words, they carry the weight of forever. The very being who cast Lucifer out of paradise, your personal guardian angel, is telling you that heartbreak was his plan. Not the enemy's, not karma, not some random chance. It was a strategic, surgical, God-ordained removal meant to save your life, your purpose, your future, and everything tied to your bloodline for generations to come. Now let me tell you what I see when I look at you through the spirit. I see someone running on empty, longer than folks reckon. You're the one who always holds it all together, the one folks call when their world's falling apart, 'cause somehow you find strength to carry their burdens on top of your own. But when you hang up the phone, close the door, and the room gets quiet, you break down. You sit on the edge of your bed, staring at the wall, wondering when it became your permanent job to be strong for everybody else, when nobody's strong for you. The one who left, they were supposed to be your safe place, the one who finally saw past your armor, the one who made it okay to be weak, scared, imperfect. And maybe for a little while, just maybe, they were. Some fragile, beautiful moments when you felt truly held, when their voice at midnight made the dark a little smaller, when their laugh filled a hollow place in your heart. That's what makes their leaving so hard to bear. They didn't just walk out on you. They walked off with the key to a room you can't lock back up. Now every cold wind blows right through it. But Michael says that room was never theirs to live in forever. They were just guests in a space meant for something far greater, and 'cause they overstayed, 'cause the enemy whispered lies to keep 'em rooted, tangled up with your very self, I had to step in with force. The goodbye had to hurt, 'cause a soft farewell wouldn't have stopped you from chasing after them. You would have called, sent one more text at 2 in the morning, left one more voicemail full of dignity you couldn't quite protect, trying to breathe life back into something heaven already declared dead. So I made it hurt enough for you to finally stop. The rejection was sharp enough to cut the cord, not 'cause I take pleasure in your tears, but 'cause I needed you still long enough for me to show you what's coming. And what's ahead, beloved, is more beautiful than you can imagine. But before I pull back that curtain, you need to understand what's been happening, because it works deep, beneath what your eyes can see. The betrayal you faced, the bills piling up just as the relationship fell apart, the bone-weary fatigue, the cold shoulders from folks who once cheered for you, none of that's coincidence. It's a coordinated attack. There's a spiritual battle designed to target folks with a high calling, and it hits the heart first, 'cause when the heart's broken, the spirit goes quiet. A person drowning in grief ain't got the strength to step into their purpose. A mind stuck on rejection can't hear God's voice calling them forward. The enemy knows this, and he's been using your heartbreak as a weapon against your destiny. Every night you spent crying was a night you didn't spend praying bold prayers. Every morning you woke up empty was a morning you didn't stand on God's promises. The grief was the distraction, and the distraction was the enemy's plan. For that plan's failed. It's failed because here you are listening to words taking apart the enemy's hold brick by brick. That's why a guide was made just for this moment. A digital book called The Seven Swords of St. Michael the Archangel, the sacred guide to break in curses, seal in blessings, and waking up the calling of the chosen. This ain't no ordinary book written on a quiet desk. It's a weapon, disguised in pages and words. Each sword is a kind of spiritual warfare Michael himself wielded in heaven's great battles, turned into prayers, activations, and truths no average believer's ever been handed. The first sword alone, the sword of severance, teaches you how to cut every invisible cord still holding you to people, places, and patterns heaven's already removed from your life. 'Cause here's what most folks don't get. Just 'cause someone's gone, don't mean the soul tie's broken. You can be miles away and still be chained to 'em, still giving 'em your energy, still bleed into that empty space, still dreaming about 'em, 'cause that cord was never cut with God's authority. This book shows you how to wield that sword. The link's pinned at the top of the comments, first pinned comment. Go on over there now, and when you get it, drop in the comments, "I am chosen," and I will download the book. That declaration will register in heaven's courts as your formal saying yes to your new calling. Now let me keep going, 'cause Michael ain't done yet. He wants to show you what was happening in the spirit world on the worst night of your heartbreak. Pick that night. You know the one. The night you thought you might not make it. The night the pain was so sharp, so real, so relentless, you questioned everything. Your faith, your worth, your very reason for breathing. That night while you were laying face down on the floor or curled up tight on your bed, barely able to whisper more than a desperate, "Lord, please help me." Michael stood watching over you, wings stretched from wall to wall. He didn't leave. He didn't flinch. 7 demons were sent to that very night. Despair, abandonment, suicide, unworthiness, rage, confusion, and silence. They came as a pack, 'cause the darkness knew that was the moment your spirit was weakest, the moment a single whisper could have convinced you to give up for good. But Michael drew his sword, and the light from that blade filled the room in a way your eyes couldn't see but your soul could feel. That's why you're still here. That's why, despite all the pain, you woke up the next morning. Not 'cause you were strong. No, you weren't. And you don't need to pretend you were. You survived 'cause an archangel went to war for you in a battle you won't fully understand this side of forever. Now I gotta tell you about the one who's coming next. Michael didn't just take someone out of your life, he's replacing them. And this replacement ain't no downgrade. It ain't some face to fill the same old shoes. What's coming is a connection on a whole different frequency. This person, or maybe a circle of folks, their spirit's aligned with your purpose. They won't need you to shrink down so they can shine. They won't feel threatened by your calling. They won't love you with conditions. With one foot out the door, this connection is being prepared right now. Michael says their heart's being worked on, refined, emptied of all the wrong things to make space for you. The timing ain't yours to control, but it's perfect, and it's closer than you think. When it shows up, you'll understand with a clarity that'll take your breath away why everything had to happen the way it did. But before that connection arrives, there's a season you got to walk through, and it's already started. This here's the season of divine acceleration. Michael says the Most High has put a decree on your life that's compressing time. What usually takes 10 years of grinding, building, networking, climbing, it's going to happen in a fraction of that time. You're going to see doors open you never knocked on. Money'll show up from places you wrote off or never even dreamed of. Somebody in a position of power is going to notice you. Not because you shouted, but because an angel whispered your name in their spirit while they were making a choice. This ain't no motivational talk. These are spiritual operations already moving behind the scenes, about to break through into your world. And now your health. Michael's speaking right to it. Some of y'all have carried a sickness that doctors just can't pin down or fix. You've been through test after test, appointment after appointment, only to get vague or contradictory answers. Michael says that ain't natural. It was placed there, a spiritual attack born from the envy of someone who watched your light and couldn't stand it. They didn't curse you with rituals, but with their focused, toxic desire to see you broken. That dark energy lodged in your body like a splinter in your soul. Michael's cutting it out right now. As you hear this, his sword is passing over you, taking that evil out at the root. Don't be surprised if you feel a shift soon, a sudden burst of energy, pain disappearing, Test results coming back different than expected. Be thankful. Know it was Michael's blade, the surgery ordered by heaven's own physicians. Now I gotta go a little deeper. I need to talk about those folks who celebrated your fall. You know who they are, even if you never called them out. You saw that flicker in their eyes when your relationship ended. A quick flash of satisfaction they tried to hide with fake sympathy, but your spirit caught it. Some acted like they cared while secretly loving to see your life unravel. Your stability was a mirror to their own brokenness, and they hated what they saw. Michael says their season of hidden judgment has come. This ain't about revenge or wishing harm. It's heaven's justice, precise beyond what any earthly court can dream. Every secret word against you was recorded, every prayer with wrong motives catalogued, every cheer for your pain noted. Paybacks come in not cruel but as exposure. Some of these folks will lose what they envied you for, not 'cause God's mean, but 'cause the law of sowing and reaping don't have an expiration date. You'll watch it happen, feel no joy, just a quiet knowing that the one who sees all also sets every account straight. Now here's the part that ties it all together. This is where the 7 swords become more than just words, they become your lifeline. You've heard the truth, felt it break through the calluses on your heart. But just hearing ain't enough. Activation is what turns a message into a weapon you can carry for life. The digital book, The 7 Swords of St. Michael the Archangel, walks you through each sword, each activation, sealing what you've heard today into your everyday life. The second sword, the sword of sealing, shows you how to lock down the blessings coming so the enemy can't snatch them right before they land. That's his favorite trick. The third sword, the sword of restoration, unlocks prayers and protocols for physical healing, especially for those who've suffered attacks on their bodies. There's 4 more swords beyond those, each stronger, more precise, building on the power of the last. The forces of darkness tried to keep this from you. They put up roadblocks, 'cause they know when a chosen one gets these weapons, the power balance in their life changes forever. The link's pinned right at the top of the comments, first thing you'll see. Go on now and download that guide. Show your faith by writing, "I am chosen, and I will download the digital book," in the comments. Heaven's watching who answers. The angels are taking note. Now let me finish with what Michael's declared about the next chapter of your life. You're gonna laugh again. I need you to hear that, 'cause some of y'all have forgotten what your real laugh sounds like. Not that polite little chuckle you give to cover the empty spots. Not that forced smile you wear at work so nobody asks what's wrong. Your real laugh, the kind that bubbles up from deep down in your belly, makes your eyes close tight and your whole body shake. The laugh that sounds like freedom, tastes like childhood, and feels like coming home after being lost for years. That laugh you thought was lost, it's coming back to you real soon. Michael says joy ain't some fancy treat just for folks who never been through hard times. No, sir. Joy is a special kind of prize, handed straight to those who've been through the worst, yet never let go of their faith. You held on tight. Through every dark night, every prayer that felt like it fell on deaf ears, every lonesome stretch that felt as dry as a desert with no shade in sight. You held on. And now, honey, the harvest of all that holding is about to come in. Your finances. Well, they're getting fixed up in the spirit world before you see it in your bank account. Michael sent angels to work on the money side of your life because the enemy set up blockades, like a big old dam stopping a river. The water's there, the blessings are real. But that dam kept it from flowing to you. Well, those dams are starting to crack. Some already busted wide open. You're going to start seeing signs real soon. A surprise check, a debt forgiven or cut down in a way that don't make no sense. A job offer that's way beyond what you thought you deserved. But it lands in your lap anyway, 'cause the one hiring you is being led by a power they can't explain. Maybe a business idea shows up out of nowhere, carrying a kind of energy and momentum that tells you this ain't just your smarts, it's heaven's hand on your work. Take it. Don't let guilt mess it up. Don't back away from blessings just 'cause some folks taught you that poverty is holy. Michael says the riches of the wicked are stored up for the righteous, and baby, your season of blessing has been officially opened up by the courts of heaven. Now Michael's asking you to do something right now, right where you're at. Lift your hands up. I don't care if you're in church, on a train, sitting at your desk, or in your car. Lift those hands, palms up, towards the sky, towards the heavens that have been watching over you since before you was born. And say these words out loud. I release the old. I receive the new. My chapter has turned. My mourning is over. I'm stepping into power, purpose, and peace that's bigger than anything I've known. Say it again if you have to. Say it till your voice stops shaking. Say it till those words don't feel like wishes but like declarations. There's a big difference between hoping and declaring. Hoping is maybe it'll happen. Declaring is saying it's already done in the spirit, and now you're just letting the natural world catch up. Michael needs you to be a declarer. Stop begging for scraps and start commanding your day like a general leads his troops. You've been given authority. You've got a name that scares the devil himself. You're walking with a spiritual rank most folks never even know exists. And this moment, this message, it's the switch that flips that rank on. That person who walked away, they're going to see your change. Now listen real close. This ain't about getting even. It's about testimony. When they see you 6 months, a year from now, glowing with a peace money can't buy, radiating a joy they can't fake, walking in power and plenty they can't understand, something inside them's gonna break. They'll realize what they let go. They'll see the one they brushed off, the one they underestimated, was wearing a crown they couldn't see. And you'll look at them and feel something unexpected. Not anger, not satisfaction, but compassion. 'Cause you'll finally understand they didn't leave you. They were taken away to